Item 10F, adopt a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement commissioning, hope I say this right, Sayori Ide and Jonathan Russell, and allocating $50,000 from the Public Art Fund for the Memorial Recognition Sculpture. Staff report, please.
Good evening, Mayor Wayne, members of the City Council. This next item for your consideration involves the commissioning of Memorial Recognition Sculpture. You want to introduce yourself? I'm sorry, yes, I'm John Alita. I'm the Assistant Library Director, and I work along with the Community Services Director to as a staff contact for the Culture and Arts Commission. The background on this item is that in January of 2009, the City Council approved the citywide memorial recognition policy. This policy established specific methods and criteria for honoring San Bruno citizens and others who provided exemplary service to the city of San Bruno. At the time of the approval of that policy, the City Council directed the Culture and Arts Commission and the Parks and Recreation Commission to work together to recommend both a site and a sculpture that would serve as the memorial recognition sculpture. The purpose of the sculpture was to honor individuals alive and deceased who provided the level of service, exemplary service that either the council would like to acknowledge and also to provide a method for residents to provide personal tribute to loved ones. The commissions formed a joint committee of 4 members from the Parks and Recreation Commission and 3 from the Culture and Arts Commission. And that committee met several times over the next period of about 1 year, where they developed criteria for the sculpture. The first slide that you see here is the site that was selected and recommended by the Joint Committee. It is about a 13-foot in diameter triangular piece of land that is adjacent to the Recreation Center on the west side. And after the site was selected, criteria was developed, and a call for artists was put out for about a period of 60 days. The committee received 10 responses. Those proposals were then ranked using a set of criteria, which we've placed on the slide to show you what level of weight was given to each of the elements of each piece. Of those 10, 3 were selected as finalist pieces, and then those 3 artists were asked to create a scale model of their designs so that the committee could be able to make a decision on a final design. We've also, of course, brought the models here tonight for your review. The model on the slide before you is the one that that has been recommended by both commissions. Excuse me. The artists are here tonight, it's Jonathan Russell and Sayori Ide, so if you do have any questions about the design, we can have their assistance as well. The project, if you have the next slide, please. This is an aerial view of the site. The sculpture consists of 3 pillar-like pieces that are 16 feet in height and about 3 feet in diameter at their base. And they are, as you can see, would be placed about 10 feet apart in the proposed location. The next slide will show you a kind of image superimposed on the site to give you a sense of what it might look like in the location. The cost for the design and the fabrication and delivery of the sculpture is $50,000. This money had been earmarked in the Public Art Fund for this project at the time that it was conceived. In addition to the artists' fees, the city staff time would be required for the preparation of the site, namely the excavation of 3 holes for concrete footings and assistance in installing the piece. In addition to the main design project, there were some items that the commission wanted to just draw your attention to. One is that the Culture and Arts Commissioners wanted to recommend that the names of any veterans that had been killed in the line of duty who were from San Bruno be placed on any sculpture that was selected. Currently, there are about 8 people that fit that criteria that we are aware of. Secondly, and thirdly, the commissions are aware that they would like both a seating element for the sculpture and to select the appropriate plaque to go on the surface. Those things they wanted to wait a little bit further along until the design was finished so that they could have a better sense of what might go best, since it is going to be part of the artistic medium or the site. The time frame for fabrication and delivery of the piece would be about 7 to 8 months. So we'll be looking at around summer 2011 for the project to be finally installed. In terms of the fiscal impact of the project, as I stated before, the design and fabrication costs are $50,000. This would be allocated from the Public Art Fund. Just to clarify for the public's interest, the Public Art Fund is not a general fund resource. It is a specific fund set up for just the establishment of public art. It is funded by a portion of permit fees. Currently, there is a balance of about $80,000 in the fund, and the fund currently receives around $20,000 in revenue per year from the portion of permit fees. If that is all I have to talk to you about the project, I'm sure there'll certainly be some questions, so I'd be happy to answer any of them you might have.
Question, I guess for the artist. What is the material? Step to the podium, please. Thank you.
It's steel.
So I see in this depiction here, it looks like it's developed to rust or just age over time.
No, we had considerable conversation back and forth about that, and the final decision was a powder-coated steel.
Okay, powder-coated.
So it's impervious, it doesn't change.
And the color?
The color was another issue. You're getting right to the heart of it. The color was another issue. When we went back and forth on that, we originally proposed stainless steel, but they thought that was too much of an impact. So right now we're looking at, if you go, did I do that?
No.
I did that to show the stainless.
Okay,
This was the original
But we came
model.
on to this idea of a sort of almost like a bronze, slightly reddish quality to blend in with the landscape.
Okay. And the plaques for the future, would they be a brass type of plaque
Brass.
mounted on?
Yes.
Yes, or we actually have a lot of latitude with that, and because they would go on the sculpture and in some ways change the look of the sculpture, the commission wanted to make sure they had the right material and font, et cetera, selected. So it's one of those items that was still on its to-do list.
So this will evolve with the seating and the different things?
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Through the chair, one of the artists is here. Could
Mayor.
you, thank you, Jim. Could you maybe give us how this evolved, what it represents, what your vision and what you're seeing of this? Because obviously it was a stainless steel, and it seemed like it was more closed, the top in the original, unless I was mistaken, and now it seems more open, maybe brought down a little bit, and obviously the colors change. But obviously it was a concept. Every artist has a vision. What was it that brought you to this?
I understand exactly what you're saying. The idea was when the call for application came out, you were looking for really 3 different pillars of the community that were being honored and represented. So we came up with this idea that you had 3 different parts of the community. You had different people who were doing different aspects coming together. And so the idea is the 3 pillars are, they represent the city, and there's this idea of it coming together as a whole.
Okay.
Any other questions of the artist? Mary?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Ken?
I'm going to admit, when I read the staff report, and I didn't turn the pages until I read the report and the follow-up, and I knew that there was a lot of discussion, and the commissions were torn, I guess, many times, and then eventually came to the decision. And then I turned the page and saw your design, and I didn't like it at all. I thought it was, and excuse me, I don't want to care. I thought it was tusks coming out of the ground, and I go, where's that coming from? Obviously we didn't see any of the other designs. So, but then I looked at it over here at the model, and I liked it even worse, or I didn't like it any better. But then I see this, because the staff report, the photocopy doesn't do it any justice. But this is a more accurate depiction of what it's going to look like. And
Well,
and then your explanation on how you came together, and I can see that. And I didn't really want to. I wanted to keep an open mind, because it's very subjective, and artists can really try to twist your mind and things. But
He means that in a nice way.
No, that's and those are actually accurate perceptions. What
I'm an
happens-
architect, and I don't like what architects say a lot either. So about
Well,
their
then you
designs.
know better than anyone, when you get an object out into space, it changes.
Yeah.
In other words, so we went to the site, we looked at it, we tried to figure what would fit within that location, and that probably gives a better view of what it would look like within the location.
It's not a large space.
No, it's not. It's
And
not. So we wanted something to give monumentality, but at the same time, have a delicate, aesthetic.
Also, we did think about vandalism, safety, maintenance issue. All these are beyond the artistic elements, but we have to make sure that those are covered. This is a public art piece. That's why we came up with this a piece that are nobody can climb up on, and
Right, all of those are the primary considerations, but they have a big effect on the aesthetics. So, we had a number of ideas, but that location is pretty private. You're not going to be able to, patrol it all the time. So this is a piece that really is something that can stand alone, and it's not going to get vandalized.
And what's before us tonight, to the staff, this is in regards to this vision and sculpture. It's not as far as the plates or the font or what goes on or who goes on or how it goes on. That's not what's before us. Is that correct?
I would say that's correct. The only caveat I would add is the methodology for how people get recognized is in the policy that's already been established. But yes, right now it's simply the sculpture design, and the plaques and the seating would be an additional expense over time, and they would also be so we would bring those back if necessary for approval.
So they go back to the two bodies and then come back to the council for review and approval? And is there a guesstimate of how many I know it depends on how big they are, and that's not up there. Is there a guesstimate of what this would allow, 100, 200 per the pillar, or do we know? Or I know it's based on the size and all that, but
We
a
have
guesstimate.
3 sides,
3 sides
3
and 3
feet.
pillars.
3 sets, so you've probably got, hundreds per pillar.
Okay. And you also feel, obviously, based on the material, the durability, this will maintain itself and stay there long after we're all gone.
That's the whole point.
You see, we can get our name on there at that point.
The powder coating surface.
Just thinking ahead.
The finish on the sculpture is a powder coated surface, and it will also have a, what is that called?
Graffiti
Graffiti
proof.
proof.
Coating.
What it does is to easily remove the graffiti. It
Very good.
happens.
Can I ask one? You mentioned in the 9-2 vote, and then the 2 dissenting, they felt that it was too futuristic. Was that because of the stainless steel? Or was it just because of the shape?
Well, go ahead.
Let John speak.
Actually, I also want to point out that 2 of our commissioners are here, excuse me, in the audience tonight. One from the Park and Rec Commission, one from Culture and Arts.
Were they the two no votes?
One was a yes vote, one was a no vote.
Okay.
Well, fair and
So
balanced,
it
I
was,
like that.
it's a little balanced in the audience tonight. The color choice was changed from the stainless to the reddish before the gentleman in the audience voted no. So he saw it as the red color, not as the stainless. When it was the stainless, that's when each of the commissions still had many questions about it separately. We then called joint meetings of the commissions. We invited the artists to come to talk about it, and it was the full joint commission meetings when we changed the shape slightly, when we changed the coating, when we changed the coloring. So all of that happened prior to the 9-2 vote.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Through the chair.
Irene?
Thank you. I don't really have a question. I just have a comment. And I would like to acknowledge all the work that both the Park and Rec Commission and the Art and Culture Commission have done. This is not an easy thing to pick art that's going to be standing there forever and ever. And I appreciate the artist's answers to it and his willingness to change his concept to something. I have to agree with Ken. When I first saw it in our packet, I thought, oh my goodness. But this rendition is much more appropriate, I think, for the area and what you said. So I think we can all live with it. So I appreciate all the work you all did. It's not an easy thing.
And you should know that I had to work with Mr. Ibert for 8 years on the grade separation project, so you can only imagine. Just teasing, Ken. No, thanks to the artists, a wonderful job, and that's all of the artists. It's in the eye of the beholder, I guess, and it got down to this one. And congratulations, and thanks to all the commissioners. It's a lot of work, and it's very judgmental. But you know, considering San Bruno, who we are, where we were, where we're going, it's very, very appropriate. I think it's nice.
Just would say that we've done a number of these commissions, and the meetings were very, very productive and actually very constructive. So it was a really good experience all the way down the line.
Good. Any other comments or action from the council?
No, now you want action, huh?
Mm-hmm. Now I want action.
Through the chair, I'll
Oh, you can do it.
introduce the resolution.
Councilmember Ibera.
Aye.
Councilmember Salazar.
Aye.
Councilmember O'Connell.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Medina.
Aye.
Mayor Ruane.
Aye. Congratulations. We look forward to this.